we ready?
We're ready.
There's a gentleman, he's since long passed, but he did a marvelous job on Patrick Henry's speech. And if you don't know Patrick Henry, go kick your history teacher in the head, because they failed. They deserve a swat or a good whack in the head. And this was also at the Libertarian Convention. And by the way, what you saw was Natural Party, Republican Party, Democrat, and Libertarian Party. Now, the bank gangsters controlling the Democrat and Republican have eliminated minor parties, even though this minor party, with some help from the Green Party, actually worked to get marijuana decriminalized, made it an issue until it actually happened. So let's go here. Patrick Henry's speech. It bears reminding, it's time to bear arms against the bankers and the Criminal Bar Association. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Let it roll.
Your mic is off. We're at 15 minutes on the tape.
Well, we might not get it all, but it's okay. How much time we got left?
About 7 minutes, 6 minutes.
We'll get most of it.
You're live on YouTube?
Yeah.
6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Can't you point that camera at the TV screen over there?
We can.
You mean that, this one?
No, that one. This one's gone wacky.
Well, I can fix this.
It's okay. Hang on a second. We're going.
Me again.
Has Great Britain any enemies in this quarter of the world that would justify such an accumulation of armies and navies? No, sir, she has none. They're meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They're sent over here to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the British ministry have been so long forging. And what have we to oppose them? Shall we try argument? Sir, we've been trying that for 10 years. Have we anything new to offer on the subject? No, nothing. This subject has been held up to every light of which it is capable, and it's all been in vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? What terms shall we find that have not already been exhausted? Let us not, I beseech you, sir, deceive ourselves longer. We have done everything that could possibly be done to avert this terrible storm which is now coming on. We have petitioned. We have remonstrated. We have supplicated. We have prostrated ourselves before the throne and implored its interposition to restrain the tyrannical hands of the ministry and the parliament. Our petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded. We have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the throne.
Thank you.
In vain, sir, after all these things, may we indulge the fond hope of peace and reconciliation. There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve those inestimable privileges for which we've been so long contending, if we mean not basely to abandon the noble struggle in which we've been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon, then we must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left to us.
Flashing.
Now they tell us, sir, that we're weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Shall it be next week? Shall it be next year? Shall it be when we're totally disarmed and a British guard is stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction?
About 30 seconds.
Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying upon our backs, hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemy has bound us hand and foot?
I'll just tip my hand, keep his audio going.
Sir, we are not weak. If we make proper use of the means which the God of nature hath placed in our power, 3 millions of people, armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible to any force any enemy may send against
What
us.
we got to do right now?
And besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There's a just God in heaven who presides over the destinies of nations.
We're out. And you're clear. Thank you.
Turn it back on and keep it going because we're streaming.
All right.
Because we're still streaming.
Oh yeah, we are.
Besides, sir,
Here we go.
we no longer have any choice in the matter. If we were base
Everything
enough
you
to
say
desire
in that
it,
room is
it
being
is too
picked
late
up
to
by
retire
microphone.
from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are already forged. Their clanking may be heard upon the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and I say let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come. It would be vain, sir, to extenuate the matter further. The gentleman may cry peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps down from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle?
That's okay.
What did the gentleman wish?
That's not sure.
What will they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
I want you to remember what you heard from Hoppy Heidelberg tonight. And remember, very few people heard it, but you will get, those of you who bought the full package, will get a tape of this convention. And Hoppy's speech here tonight will be in that tape. With that, I don't think there's much more I can say. This man ran for governor. He's an interpreter, a capitalist of the first rank when the FBI destroyed his horse breeding business after his grand jury tour. He got into another business. He's self-supporting, and he didn't charge us anything.